have you here and to see you once again. I think you can pull down your slide.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good morning for those of you in North America, and good afternoon for those of you in Nigeria. I'm super excited, and it's been an amazing journey. How are we doing, Dr. Chigi? Good to see you. I mean, I'm always excited every time I see you at meeting and everyone showing up at this meeting today. Thank you. Oh, Peacemaker, I can see you. Amaka, love you all and thank you very much. I want to appreciate our first timers. Bolu, I can see you. Love you guys. I want to appreciate our first timers. I want to appreciate everyone. Maka, thank you very much for always showing up. And for those of you who have been inviting people, we can still invite people to this meeting. So you can pick your link and look for 5 people that you love and tell them they have to join this meeting now, right? If we don't invite people, people won't show up. We want to thank you guys for showing up, but we can invite more people. So let's go and invite our people, right? If you have invited them, just click on the chat box, done. Okay, so today we are going to conclude the session on from chaos to cohesion, right? We're going to do from chaos to cohesion. We're going to conclude the session. I think this has been the first time, since we started House of Saviours, that I will take an entire session for a whole month, right? So I want to, it feels somehow, that we've not really had any guest speaker, but there is a whole lot to unpack in this series, and I'm glad that it's been helpful. Thank you very much for all your messages during the week. People go back to watch it, and they're telling me how this is helping their work and how it's helping their lives. So thank you very much for going to invite people. Right. So if I ask you, what has been the highlight so far since we started this series? What has been your highlight so far? Can you just go to the chat box and share what has been your greatest take home on moving from chaos to cohesion, right? Just go and to the chat box and share your lessons. By the way, next month is our cooperative month. Finally, cooperative is kicking off fully. So we're going to dwell a whole lot on family meeting and family life, and we're going to share how the cooperative is going to work. Our goal is to become the Black Rock. We're housing wealth and helping Africans create wealth for the cooperative. So 12th of November is when it kicks off officially. And so that day we're going to have family meeting. But next Sunday, we're going to learn more about how we can pull resources together to do good. Okay, I have not seen anybody write anything. In 3 weeks, it means we have not learned anything. So maybe we should just close this meeting and share the grace and fellowship. Well, those people reach out to me during the week. Okay, so share what the critical lessons and your learnings that you have learned in the last 3 weeks. Okay, I'll be waiting for you. But so far, we started by looking at the team performance dynamics by Bruce Tuckman on the fact that every human being can move from chaos to cohesion. Nations have moved from chaos to cohesion, and all of us can do the same for ourselves, for our family, for our businesses, especially for those of you who run businesses, and for those of you, if the chaos is in your personal life, you can actually turn things around. Okay. I think Ayo Lawrence says she's learned the power of narratives, creating the world with the words of your mouth. Delton says failure is not fatal, it's an opportunity to review your strategy and make a generational change. Fantastic. Okay, so thank you very much. So we looked at this. By the way, if you are a registered member, we have a super session later this evening, that you don't want to miss. Okay, so keep it coming. So we looked at this moving from forming to storming to numbing and to performing, right? And we talked about can two work together except they agree, and then we moved into the critical things you need to do to move from chaos to cohesion. If you missed some of the sessions, the videos are on YouTube. Please go listen to them. And we talked about number one, do a root cause analysis, where we talk about Bocage and Jacob. You still remember the story, right? Many people have been asking me, Praise, how did you come up with this story? I started laughing. Right? But that is how we do things. That's how we see things as human beings, that we see things the way we are, not necessarily the way they are. Dr. Chige is saying, the greatest takeaway from this series, a new perspective as to my true identity. Thank you very much, Ambassador. Dr. Olamian says, opportunities to dialogue helps to dissipate chaos. Thank you very much. Okay, so we talked about doing a root cause analysis, and then that you need to assess to know the real cause, prioritize issues that require urgent attention, determine everyone's win, confront and mediate on issues that can undermine a quest for cohesion. Week two, we looked at defining the governance system, right? And in the governance system, we talked about how you can create a compelling vision that speaks to everyone's collective desire. We talked about how to create a compelling vision if you were doing it individually or personally. And we talked about how to agree on values and make the values your creed and create a compelling legend. And that was when we talked about narrative management, that the world is built and the world thrives on narrative management, right? And how you can create your own narrative, because you have that power. Unfortunately, not many of us rise to that power. That there comes a time in the history of your generation that someone has got to rise to break the dog. For example, when I was doing my own analysis, I realized that the members of my family were never on TV, they were never in the newspaper. The person I found who was in the newspaper was my uncle. I was an obituary, right? So I decided to do something about it in the early 2000s, there about, I think 1999 was when I discovered this. And by 2004, I was writing for this day newspaper every week. And I was a frequent guest on the TV stations, right? That somebody needs to rise and break the deadlock. So you from a family where, nobody has become a billionaire or nobody has built anything worth the while, you might be the one who decides to rise to the occasion and change the narrative, right? And we said that things are not always reported the way they are. They are reported based on agenda. That's why the goal of media is not to speak the truth. The goal of media is to drive a narrative. That is why if the same event happens, what you will see on CNN is different from how Fox will report the same thing in America. In Nigeria, the way Arise will report it is different from the way TVC will report it. That is the power of narrative management. That's why politicians always want to own newspapers and own TV stations, because they can drive your perception through the power of narrative. We talked about how to determine everyone's win and create a code of engagement. Now, last week, we talked about how to implement a culture that speaks to the outcome. And one of the things we clearly stated last week is the need for you to design a culture that speaks to the outcome. The most effective cultures are embedded in religion. That if you can make your culture into a religion, you will almost colonize many people, right? That's why Saudi is strong. Their culture is the religion. That's why UAE is strong. Their culture is their religion. That's why India is strong. Their culture is embedded in their religion. That's why you see them collaborate, even China, Japan, and all these people, right? So you need to understand that if you are framing anything, framing an organization, right, you need to put some elements of religion into it, because people are always looking for someone to worship, right? And be there, create routines, celebrations, and rituals with compelling narrative. I ask some of you to take yourself out during the month and celebrate yourself. How many of you did it? You went to do your own celebration. Can you type I in the chat box? Let me see if you went ahead to celebrate yourself, you took yourself out and you enjoyed your own life. Okay, you chopped the life of your head. Okay, Ayo did. No, Ayo will do that, right? Where are the other people? Becky did, right? How did it feel to take yourself out and spend your own money on yourself and enjoy yourself? Peacemaker, fantastic. I love the fact that many of us did, right? You need to learn to celebrate yourself. I took myself to Houston, checked myself into an hotel, right, and had a good time for 4 days, right? Next month, I'm headed to Atlanta. I'm going to do another 4 or 5 days in there where I'm visiting my people and checking on them and seeing what's going on, right, and explore the land, right? So we need to understand that my cousin would say, well, I know they finish, right? So you need to celebrate yourself. You can't warehouse the problem of the world and begin to minister to other people and solve their own problem without ministering to yourself. It's not self-centeredness. Any voice that says to you that you are wasting money on yourself, that says to you when souls are perishing, that's not the voice of God, right? God will have you take care of yourself. So we talked about engaging beliefs alignment, defining acceptance and rejections and consequences, promote events and ideas that speak to your greatness, repeat with compelling testimonials. Now today we're moving into people dynamics. Now I want you to look at these three images. What do you think is the difference between these three? What is the difference between these three? I've shown this picture here before, right? What do you think is the difference between these three, right? Go to the chat box and let me know what you think. What is the difference, right? You can see A, you can see B, you can see C. What do you think is the difference between these three images? Okay, let me see who is responding. Okay, difference is in culture. Fantastic. Who else? And you are not wrong, Dr. Chinji. You know, one thing I love about House of Saviours is that you can have different interpretations to the same thing. Okay, framing and packaging. Thank you, Boluwatewe. Race, nationality, and culture, narrative, graphics. Fantastic. Right? What I see, the difference is costume, basically. Costume. But you know, as this difference existed, right? And the costumes are actually the same, right? Maybe they are sewn differently. What we will naturally do is to treat all these three images differently. We will look at C and say, oh, that's Lagbaja, and dance, because we know it's a musician. It comes with good music. It's not scary. His voice is not husky. We dance to his music. We look at B and we say, oh, wow, Halloween is in the corner. If you come to America, go to Canada, you see Halloween is in the air. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry right now. Everyone has some kind of scary stuff in front of their houses, right? Maybe my house doesn't have it yet, you know, but I used to celebrate Halloween as All Saints Day, All Souls Day when I was in Anglican church. As a growing up boy, 1st of November, we did that. But that has changed a little bit right now. So Halloween, and some people say it's demonic, it's celebration of the dead, and that all is in framing. There is no dead person that can take over anybody's life on that day. People know exactly what they're doing, right? So it was someone that repackaged All Saints Day or All Souls Day and branded it and turned it to a business, right? And that business is thriving big time. So, whether you say, oh, you know, we are celebrating the dead, it's your narrative, right? We are victim of our own narrative. So, A, we look at it and say it's demonic, right? But you know that a demon is not under it. Everybody knows a human being is under it. You know this guy is going to beg you for money. Maybe he's wrongly packaged because he has a husky voice. All these three guys, in fact, A guy is not different from Santa Claus. The only difference between him and Santa Claus is that while his own voice is husky, Santa Claus's voice is nice. While he's carrying cane, beating people and scaring people, Santa Claus is friendly. While his own uniform looks, irregular and looks scary, Santa Claus is putting on a red. And while this guy has a bad branding or narrative that says he's a demoniac, Santa Claus has a narrative that is friendly. He's bringing gifts. He's the Lord Jesus Christ. All in a story, right? So it's about the difference in costume, but as simple as this may be, it will define how you engage. The same way you walk into a room and the way people engage with you, maybe because of your tribe, maybe because of your race, maybe because of your social status, maybe because of what you're wearing, people have the tendency to treat you differently, you know, based on how you show up and based on their framing about you. Now, if you look at these three again, the difference is in their, the question is, from these three, for example, how do you know the nice guy among them? Anybody in the comment box? How do you know the one that is godly? Really, really godly among these three? You can't know unless you interact with them. But guess what? Many of us who are Christians are likely going to look at the A guy and conclude that maybe the guy is a terrorist. because of what they put in our head about Islam and extremism and terrorism, right? You're going to look at the big guy and say, wow, he's a man of God. That's why it's easy for the guy to swindle you. Do you know that the easiest people to swindle you are the people you trust the most, the people you think can never hurt you, the man you think is the holiest of holy guy in the world, who you cannot think is sinful? It may actually be the biggest scam in history. It may be the biggest sinful guy, but because he's pious, he speaks gently, right? You don't know that this guy is scamming you big time because you have trusted him. So your guards are down because he's on your blind side. That's how these things work, right? I can become very pious and speak gently and say, and say, God bless you, and pray for all of you. You're going to give me more money. If I do that, because I can frame my words, right, and begin to show you how things will work for you, right, and you will give me more money. It's in framing. But many of us are not even willing to give people who don't look like that chances. So if I turn this meeting to an anointing meeting and I say, everybody bring oil, miracle will happen in 4 days. This place will be jam-packed. I can bet you if we try it, within the next 1 month, we'll be turning like 1,000, 2,000 people regular. Why? Because I have assumed the messenger from God, and I can speak over your life. You don't even care. I can tell you, I have just fasted for 35 days. You are not in my room. You don't know whether I eat a bowl of amala and I just show up to come and say whatever I want to say. But this is how the world is framed. In fact, in the legal system, they have said that if you have two people in court and the jury is white, and it's between a black and a white guy, that the white guy is likely going to get judgment in his favor than the black guy, even though the white guy is guilty. They've also said that tall people will likely get judgment against the ones who are not as tall in some judgment. They've also said light complexion people will get judgment over the ones who are not light complexion, right? They've also said that the handsome people will likely get judgment over the ones they call wawa people. But who is wawa? Who is ugly, really? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So you see that the way human beings frame things, right? We see things the way we are. So this guy holding a Bible, holding a collar, he doesn't have to be a pastor. You are likely going to respect him and say, man of God. He may be younger than you. You are likely going to bow to him. Why? What has changed? Just by watching his costume. Something in your subconscious switches that this is a holy man. It's the way you have been conditioned and the way you have been framed over time. That's the only reason people believe that Israel is a holy nation. When Israel, have you seen Israel operate? Have you seen Israel undertake espionage? Have you seen Israel do things that you can't even say Bible supports this, but everybody believes Israel is a holy place. They believe that Jerusalem, we go on pilgrimage, spend a lot of money. I don't know if you have ever visited Jerusalem for pilgrimage, right? The Israelis who do this pilgrimage, who collect money from you, they do not believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. They actually believe, they don't believe in Jesus, but they believe in the business of Jesus. So all the sites you go and see, the Jews themselves don't believe in it, but the Jewish government collects the money. That's how the framing happens. You go to Saudi Arabia. I don't know how many of you saw the fight between Francis Ngannou and what's the name of this guy again? Tyson Fury yesterday, right? You said that Nigerians will go to Mecca. Everybody goes to Mecca, the holiest of holy places. That's the framing. But you can see the entertainment yesterday. Saudi Arabia will likely put you in jail if you are living with a woman you are not married to. But Cristiano Ronaldo got into Saudi Arabia as a footballer, and because he has the capacity to move a lot of money, bring a lot of attention to Saudi Arabia's investment, what happened? That rule was suspended for Cristiano Ronaldo. He's not married to his girlfriend. They are living together. That is to say to you, in fact, when I saw that, I concluded that it is a sin and a curse to be poor in this world, because they're going to trample on you. So House of Saviours, if your goal is to be poor, please trash that goal today. Because like Fisaiah would say, everyone has a voice, but money is the volume, right? That's what Messiah would say. Everyone has a voice, but money is the volume. And he would say that in the Bible, there was a poor wise man who saved a city, but he was not remembered. No street was named after him. In fact, his name was not mentioned. He was referred to as a poor wise man. So the world is in framing. If you don't correctly brand and position yourself, people are going to trample on you, and people are going to turn your greatness into commonness, such that nobody has regard for you. And have you not been to meetings? I don't know how many of you have been to meetings, and you bear me witness here, right? That you have been to a meeting where you know they brought in some speakers, you are part of the planning, they brought in speakers, right, to come and, maybe bless you or speak to you at that meeting. And you are looking at the speakers, you are looking at what you carry inside of you. You feel you can do a better job than all of these people. The only crime you have committed is that you are part of the system, so nobody sees you. If that has been your experience, can you type hi? Let me be sure that I'm speaking to the right audience, right? Let me be sure you're speaking to the right audience. The meeting has been planned. Okay, good. And you are wondering, what am I doing here? The only reason you were not called up, they did not think of you, was because you were wrongly packaged, right? You were not the guest speaker. Familiarity, see finish. They see you all the time. You arrange chairs all the time. So nobody's going to put you on any podium because maybe your name cannot even attract the crowd. But you know that, you see, I do better than all these people. Let me tell you, maybe what you need to do is to move farther away and make your name elsewhere. Once your signal is thick elsewhere, they will always call you back. That is the way this world works, sadly. You don't have to, do that, but that's the way things are framed. You need to know how the world works, or consistently, you'll be at the receiving end. People that are less competent than you will rule over you. You will kneel down for them. People that you should not even be on the same level, you will be kneeling down for them, bowing down to them. Why? Because they have a uniform. Okay, and that takes me to number 4 in moving from chaos to cohesion, which is select the right people. Select the right people. Select the right people. Good. So reminds me of Palace Protocol. Good. I've taught on Palace Protocol. You can go and listen to it. You need to learn to select the right people. If you are doing this as an organization, you want to move from chaos to cohesion as a business owner, as an organization, or as a person. You need to choose individual, which is number 4, the final thing. Choose individual with complementary skills, knowledge, and background that align with the group's objective, and let them represent the group. Now, I am praised. I do not like to do a lot of social media posts and graphics and all these things because my life is too busy. So what have I done? I have surrounded myself with people who love to do that, right? As of 2 days ago, I was still discussing with someone in America who said, "Please send me your videos. I will help you post on TikTok because my strategy says you have to be on TikTok." Left to me, I am done with social media, TikTok, but he said you need to be there and da. Oh, I found someone who can do it. That's fine. So you need to select the right people, which is coming with your personal analysis of yourself. Not many people know that I don't like numbers, right? But I use numbers. Gospel is here, is the one that made me rethink loving numbers, right? Because I saw him when I met him, I saw him carry calculator and he's checking everything. We worked on a project together, and every time Gospel will come to a meeting, he will calculate the space my department is occupying and check how much we have brought in. And so we thought we were doing well, but Gospel made us see that based on the numbers, we were doing badly. So I began to learn that, if I could have time, I would line up all my maths teachers who made me 8 maths and flog all of them. Because if there's any subject anyone must love, it is mathematics. Language, the precision language is in calculations, right? And so I began to pay attention to numbers again. But guess what? I have surrounded myself with people who understand numbers. Every numbers transaction, once I look at it, I send it to my wife. My wife breathes and think and dream numbers, right? I have God's will around me. I can send it to him. He will look at it and say, "Praise, don't deal," and stuff like that. So you need to learn to be honest with yourself and surround yourself with people with complementary skills. You cannot do everything. You need to understand that but you must also allow other people shine. You know, the bane of many of African leaders is that they are surrounded by competent and absolutely good people. But because they have low self-esteem and insecurity, they are not giving expression to all the talents in their lives. So have you not noticed that every time we have to do any subject on calculation on investment, I don't show up in this meeting at all? Why? We have competent people who have managed billions of dollars worth of projects in House of Saviours. They are the ones who will teach it. From next month now, I'm back to floor level because we're going to be talking investment and cooperative. That is not my forte, right? The tone, the gospel, the TPF, the IR, the ones who know how to deal with numbers, because I'm going to mess things up if I say I want to arrogate myself. No. So you need, as a leader, to surround yourself with people who are not yes people. I mean, one of my mentors invited me to a strategy session. He's a pastor, and we all sat at the table. Then we started a strategy session. Every time he said something, everyone agreed. Then I raised my hand. I said, this is supposed to be a strategy session. If this man wanted all of you to agree, then he doesn't need you. Can you guys activate your thinking and think like human beings, not as his mentees or proteges on this table? And he said to me, he said, Price, you are correct. I didn't bring you here to endorse what I'm saying. I brought you here to critique it. Not many leaders can stand the greatness of their people. Let me say this to you. You are a very weak leader, small-minded leader. If all you think about is everyone is here to serve you and make you shine. No, your greatness is dependent on the greatness of other people. The poorest king is the man who is surrounded by subjects who are poor. The greatest king is the man who is surrounded by citizens who have become great. So if you are an expert at dimming the light of other people, if you're an expert at withholding their power, you know, many of my mentees and my proteges, they go and share their experience with me with other people. And it's almost as if we are from moon, we are from Mars. And people are telling them, your mentor allows you to advertise your product, allow you to be yourself on this platform, and it's not complaining, it's You know, it feels very strange. And I don't blame them. It's because the leaders we've had over time are leaders who only think about themselves and their family. So they think everyone is here to serve them. And that includes business leaders, political leaders, religious leaders. We always think that the world is here to serve all of us and nothing about their own life. So they will serve you for the rest of their life. Then their children will begin to serve you. No way. That has got to stop. We have to understand that a candle loses nothing by lighting other candles. The goal must be for everyone to become great. And that is what we must normalize. I don't see myself as a special breed. It's just the way I was raised to see that all of us can become great. All of us can become wealthy. All of us can become rich. To what benefit is it that we have a group of 1,000 people and maybe Ayo Lawrence has got a program and she can't advertise it on the platform because only PS program must be advertised? It doesn't make sense to me, right? Because we all become better when she becomes better, when everyone becomes better. So choose individuals with complementary skills, knowledge, and background that align with the group's objective if you're running a company. Choose people, put people in your management team who can tell you, PF, we're not doing this. And I have that. Many times I want to do some things, Tolani would tell me, PF, this is not going to fly. And that is the final. And I'll say, no, we need to do it. And say, PF, we're like 7 on this table. Can we put it to vote? And they put it to vote, and like 4 people already saying it's not going to work. No matter how convinced I am, it's not going to work because I am also responsible to them. I need to learn to listen as a leader to them. You are not just putting people on the table. You are putting people who have something to offer. And that is why if your family members don't have anything to offer your business, don't hire them. The rule of thumb is don't hire who you cannot fire. When you hire based on sentiment, you hire your side chick, your cousin who is looking for a job. Whenever family members say to you, hey, your brother has not found a job, can you hire him? Is your brother qualified to work on the project? Because your brother can sabotage the project. I have seen it happen over and over again where you bring in your brother and your brother starts to steal and nobody can question him. I've worked in organizations, maybe religious organization, where the brother of the pastor is stealing big time and nobody can fire him. Right? Or in political organization where the brother is messing around and looting and nobody can fire him. So in choosing, you need to select the right people. Then number 2 there, you need to consider diversity in perspective and experience to enrich discussion. Don't just surround yourself with Yoruba people if you are a Yoruba man. You need the Igbo. Gospel is one of my closest allies, and it's not Yoruba. We don't talk tribe, we don't talk race. We just see ourselves as brothers, right? Don't surround yourself with all Yoruba, all Hausa, all Igbo, which is what we do. We say, so let us put all Yorubas there. No, you need to consider diversity, right? For those of you who live abroad, do you have Indians in your team? You know, for the life of me, I cannot understand how a human being from Nigeria will go to a school in Canada for 16 months, take a master's degree, all right, for 16 months, or even go through 4 years, and after 16 months, emerges and has no other nationality who is a business partner. I can't understand it. It's a waste of resources, a waste of life, a waste of money. You should have stayed back in Nigeria. But I see it consistently. And it's a failure of inability to connect, failure of connection, failure of lack of relationships. No matter who you are, just admit to yourself that, you know what, maybe I failed myself. Why would you be in a school and not connect? What school does is it brings people from all kinds of walks of life, Chinese to Indians, to Japanese, to Jews. All of you are in the same class. Yet, you can't find a business partner. You now finish the school. You now want to start a business. You now need someone to run numbers, right? Meanwhile, there were Indians in your class. Indians are the masters at numbers. Jews are the masters at numbers. They were in your class that you did not connect with them. Then you are looking back, is there anybody in our Nigerian community? No, you have failed yourself. The whole essence of going out is for you to relate with people, to assimilate into other culture. I was doing a strategy for an organization in America, right? And I asked a question. I mean, it's a Nigerian organization. I said, if I ask all of you to invite 5 white people next week for this meeting, how many of you can invite white people? Guess what happened? Only 2 people on the table could invite 2. All the other people couldn't. Yet, they've been in America for about 20 years, right? And I couldn't understand it. That you left your hometown, Nigeria, to go to another country, right? And then you cannot boast of other nationalities. You know why? Because you're always doing parako. You go to your hometown church. You go to your hometown Owambe meeting. So why did you leave Nigeria in the first place? So you have to have a worldview. Consider diversity. Let me tell you. Every race has got its competitive advantage. The competitive advantage for many of us in Nigeria is entertainment. That's our competitive advantage. We like Owambe, Laola, not even just Nigeria. You know, we just love to show. That's why you see guys who work in factory who are on $8 per hour. But when it comes to party, they will go and get $1, $400, right, bills and use machine to spray it at the parties here. You know what it means to even be counting $1, right? But that is the mentality we like to show. So you need to consider diversity in your life. If you are listening to me in this meeting today, the only friends you have got are Nigerians. Please, I need you to break that yoke this week. Go and look for a non-Nigerian, and the easiest way is join a professional group. There's a group called Internations. Internations, they are all over the world, right? You know, Internations was created for professionals to network all over the world. But guess what? The Internations in America right now, our guys were almost going to turn it to dating where they do hook up and blah, 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 blah. So they have to take a lot of them out of it, right? Our guys are turning LinkedIn into hook up site. I don't know what is wrong with some of our guys, right? But you need to understand that you want to go global. Your culture is not strong enough to take you globally. You need links and partners and collaborators in other parts of the world. So you want to consider diversity in perspective and experience to enrich your discussion. right? Consider diversity. Look for people who are not like you. They're going to argue with you, but then it takes us back to rule number 1, where we talked about forming, storming, norming, and performance, right? It's a normal thing. But once you assimilate and everyone goes in the culture of the organization, it changes the dynamics. Number 3 there, master people dynamics, especially their tendencies, and be global in your outlook. In every group, you will have 4 people. You will have the intimidating owners, who are the bullies. They will bully you. They will argue with you. They want to run your life, but they are very, very good for projects that need dogged leadership, right? They have excesses. They can go overboard. They can treat people as things and not as beings. They can bully people, and people can groan under them. But guess what? If you need a leader who will drive the project to conclusion and ensure that everyone stay on their toes and do what they need to do, intimidating owners are your best bet. So you need them in your team. You need the creative convertibles. Creative convertibles are they are opinionated. They love to express. They are flashy. So they are the ones with red shoe, red, yellow, color blocking, blah, blah, blah. You see they are here, like our moderator, Tammy, you see they are here. They are the ones who can carry that here. You cannot but pick them out from the crowd. When they get into a place, they are the live wire of that show. You need them. Now, the thing with them is this. People love them, but they can lie and exaggerate to get their way, right? They don't care about finishing projects, but they can start. And they are spontaneous in their thinking. So if you need reports to come on time, don't give a creative convertible, because it may not even be aware that you said they should write a report. But they can move people. They can create life for people. They can create humor, lessen the mood. They want to play. You need them in your team, because the team cannot just be all about work, but that's good. Then you need the dependable trucks. Dependable trucks are introverted, slow, and steady. Dependable trucks cannot start any project on time because of analysis paralysis. But when they start, they will finish. Dependable trucks are the ones who can stay with you for 15, 20, 30 years. They are not going anywhere. They are very loyal to you. But you must recognize their strength and not bully them. So if you're an intimidating owner leader, you can upset the dependable truck, because while they are analyzing, you are not patient with them and you are shouting and screaming on them. Everyone is not you. But dependable trucks, they are diplomatic. They are the ones who can manage projects, and they will stay on it till it succeeds, right? They don't want to be known. They just love to work from the background, but loyalty is key to them. Then you need the systematic force. Systematic force are the perfectionists. They are the ones who know where everything is. They are the ones who are prim and proper. They are the ones who can maintain standard. So if you say, to get this product to the highest level, we need 2 spoons of salt on every preparation. Dependable trucks are the only ones who will keep at it 2 spoons all the time. They will keep at that standard and maintain it. If you give that job to a creative convertible, when it's calm, it will do 2 spoons. By tomorrow, it will be like, why should we do 2 spoons? 1 should be enough, Jerry. Shebi is just for the food to be sweet. He will do 1. There are days when he gets hyper excited, he forgets it, right? And he said, well, since it's late, they will manage it like that. Let's make them laugh, right? Let them take it like that. So it's not that any of them is wicked. They are just all needed, and they all have their strength. So you need to understand people's dynamics and who you need at all times for projects. So when you need someone to maintain standard on projects that require high standard, like road construction, bridges, airplane construction, systematic thoughts are the ones you need in your team, because they will stay there and they're very good with calculation. 1 + 1 must be equal to 2. When you need people who are stressed to come together and party and liven up the mood and trust in the company, trust in the organization, creative convertibles are the ones you need, because people love them. But when you need people to deliver on their project and you need to drive them, you need an intimidating owner, right? But when you need longevity, you need management, you need calmness within your organization, you need the dependable trucks. So they all need to work together, right? So you need to master people dynamics especially their tendencies. They all have their weaknesses. Intimidating omas can bully people. They don't remember birthdays. Everything is work, 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 not relationship. Creative convertibles can forget things, right? They can exaggerate things. And dependable truck can be slow and overanalyze issues that we don't move forward. Systematic thought can be too critical of other people. You need to know this for you to be able to work with people and help you win. Lastly, there you need to create a compelling conflict resolution framework within the group. What does that mean? So every group should have what we call open day. Open day should happen in your team once a week. What in your family once a week? What is open day? Open day is that day of the week where everybody is free to say whatever they want to say, the way they want to say it. The rule during open day is number one, nobody must get angry. Number two, nobody must be defensive. Number three, whatever is said cannot be used against the person that said it. And number four, if what is said is significant, you need to change. Open day prevents pent-up emotion. Open day prevents pent-up anger. It helps people to externalize their mind. I don't know how many of you have worked in an organization where people gossip and bicker a lot. But when the same boss they are gossiping about comes, everybody now says, oh, boss, you are the greatest. Boss, you are the greatest. And then when you try to raise the issue and boss says, is there any other person here who feels the same way? The same people complain to you, who gossip to you, they all keep quiet. If you have ever had that experience, can you type I? I have had that experience several times where people will complain and I'll take it to the boss. The boss comes to a meeting and it says, oh, press raise this issue. By the way, anybody on the table? And everybody keeps quiet. You will now look like the bad person, as if you were the one that planned. And, you know, don't stop doing it, guys. It just shows that you are the leader among the team. Now, having said all of this, one thing you need to master in moving from chaos to cohesion is managing and attracting the right energy in your life. Your life is energy, frequency, and vibration. If you don't master the entry and exit in your life, people will drain you. So there are people we call energy vampire. Anyone who comes into your life and after talking to them or interacting with them, by the time they leave you, you feel tired, worn out, you feel like ending your life, or you feel like, oh, wow, you begin to think of, why did I allow this person in? You begin to feel bad about yourself. Those are energy vampires. Energy vampires are also people who only remember you when something is wrong with them. Once everything is right with them, they don't remember you. They only call you when things have gone bad. Maybe they want to borrow money or they need some raise or blah, 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 blah. Those are energy vampires. Someone is asking, which personality test will you recommend? We have what we call Oyela. We have Oyela. Oyela can reveal all these things. And we have practitioners in the house who can run you through Oyela. Dr. Chigi. If you're a family system engineering practitioner, you can just type, I am here. And so Dr. G, you can slide into them and talk to any of them. They can run you through the brand of car model personality assessment. Very simple assessment. You know, they can run you through it. Now, you need to manage the energy into your life because what created the chaos, right? What created the chaos is actually a lack of energy management. Now, when you now have cohesion, you now need to manage the energy of cohesion, or else you will slip back to chaos. And that is why, for some of you have been through chaos, maybe marital chaos, you would realize that you were fine before that marriage. You were fine before that guy, that lady got into your life. The moment they got into your life, you become worn out. They began to drain you. They never saw the best of you. The question I will ask is, how did you allow them into your life in the first place? It means that your immigration system was porous. Your border was porous. Remember that we have talked about the three levels of relationship. The inner court, no, the outer court, the inner court, and the holies of holies. So you need to protect. It's not enough for you to say, I've taken myself out, I am now happy. You now need to attract the right energy. Some of you, you are talking to low-minded people. So you want to make millions, millions, and millions. you are talking to people whose only millions is because they are loud on social media. And by the things they complain about. So someone say, oh, praise, come. I will show you how to make money and how to sell out. You have told me how to sell out. But then the next post you are posting, you are saying, oh, your shoe got spoiled, and then you don't have money. Somebody, is there anybody who dash you a new shoe on something? Your message contradicted what you just posted. I don't know if people read in between the lines on social media. Now, one thing I've learned is this. In energy management, if you want to be a billionaire, right, even when you come to a new country, we always say that the hand of the person you land, when you move into a new country, will likely determine your reality and your outcome if care is not taken. So when you land in a country like America or Canada, the first question you should ask is, who are the big people making big money here? You are better off if you go and work as their cleaner or as their houseboy. You are better off. You know why? Even if you are serving coffee for them, the numbers you'll be hearing from them will be challenging your thought. So you go for a meet, you went to serve coffee, and they are talking about 260 billion US dollars project. It begins to do something to you, right? That by the time you leave them, you are no longer the same person. But if you land among the people who say to you, here, you need to combine 4 jobs, so $8, right? You are the next storyteller. If you come with high energy, they will drain your energy. Very soon you become like them. I'll give you a practical example. Once upon a time when I started my practice in Nigeria, I wasn't heading so well. Maximum I got paid was 20,000 naira to go and speak in Aba. I remember it rained heavily that day, so I took a bus called Super Sleeper. I don't know how many of you have ever boarded Super Sleeper, because my host couldn't pay for airplane, but I was happy to go. 20K was huge because I'd left paid employment. I was starting out, so 20K. In Aba, I went to Super Sleeper bus. I arrived there in the morning, we thank God for where we've been, right? So I was doing that. Then I began to hear a man say that when he speaks for 1 hour, they paid him $1 million. You know what I did? I went to humble myself. I cornered him one day and I said, sir, can you adopt me? Can I learn under you? He said, why not? I said, come. I will have to travel 3 hours to his house and back to my house 3 hours, 6 hours on the road every day. By following him for meetings, listening to him, I look at his content. Not so fantastic, but packaging is excellent. So I went to follow him. Then he started giving me opportunities to speak for 30 minutes, 1 hour, till I could run his kind of training for him. So when he's not available, I'll run his training. The money was not touching me. We did a project for him. They paid 1 million every day for 24 days. Nothing touched me. But guess what? By the time I left him, I could no longer think of 20,000 as a fee for speaking. My fee had jumped to like 250K. So every time I went to speak, right? In fact, by people seeing me around him, my value has risen. It's called third person's endorsement, right? By the time I showed up, I became the guy who could get paid 250K per hour to speak. I mean, I was training banks. They were paying me 250K every day that I trained banks, right? And that was what worked for me. So I knew that there are people you hang around and your energy level will go down. And there are people you hang around, your energy level will go up. So when you land in a new country, don't go and be staying with your family members who are also still trying to find their way. It is good for community, but ask a question. You see, the 3 principles that govern this world, if you want anything, is ask, knock, and seek. Those that ask will receive. Those that seek will find. Those that knock, the door will be open. You ask a question. Who are the richest people here? Right? You go and look for them, search them out. What can I offer them? How can I be in their circle? That's the question you should be asking. Don't sit with people. All of you are broke. All of you are struggling. You are in financial chaos. You need to look for people in financial cohesion. Right? So you cannot just sit down and just be looking, and it's because you love it. You love to be pitied, and we need to question what you really want for your life. Now, you've been through a school, and all nationalities were in that school. You did not ask them, where did you come from? What kind of family? Maybe some of them came from owners of conglomerates. You will not know because you are comfortable with your Nigerian people. You are talking to them, then school is over. You have no single non-Nigerian in your life that you can do business with. Right? So what do you need to do to create the right energy? Please, if you are listening to me and you are living outside Nigeria, I am commanding you, I'm not begging. I give you 1 week to go and start fraternizing with non-Nigerians. The minimum you can do is to join Rotary Club or join International. Don't give me any excuse that you are busy. You go and start fraternizing with Indians, with Jews, because these are guys who can show you the way. So what are the 5 steps to attracting the right energy? Number 1, self-awareness and clarity. You first need to start by understanding yourself. What are my values? What are my goals? What are my strengths? What are the areas of growth? And who are the people that have grown in that area? This clarity will serve as a guide in identifying individuals who align with your vision and values. You don't know how to build a business. Then why are you talking to people who have not built a business? Right? Then here, in self-awareness and clarity, create your love spot. What's a love spot? Love spot is creating a slide like this and putting everything you have done successfully, all your success stories, using different colors on a canvas. Every night, off your door, off the light in your room, play jazz or instrumentals and just stare at those things and let your mind pick each item and let your mind take you back to when they happen and repeat them in your mind. It will lead to dopamine secretion, which will lead to high energy, which will lead to new ideas for you. Number 2 there, network with intention. Network with intention. Network with intention. If all the people in your life are your family members, then you are not living. Many of you are too comfortable with mediocrity that you plan. See, let me tell you, even if you do bad things, your family members will not leave you. If you do bad, you mess up yourself, you are in scandal, your blood brothers and sisters will not leave you. And if they leave you, other people will come in. But to perpetually stay with them as if, is a recipe for not growing and not developing yourself to the highest level. And you are being selfish to other people because when you now have needs, you can latch onto them who are going out. Why are you not going out? Why are they not calling you to say, can you link me with this person? Can you link me with that person? So you need to network with intention, knowing fully well that if all of us 70-something people go out and all network, then we can all bring our networks together and it become our network. So network with intention, attend events, seminars, or social gatherings that cater for your interests and values. So you have gone for a meeting. Everybody's keeping to themselves. What costs you from, walking up to another person and say, how are you? My name is Praise. What do you do? This is what I do. I help families build a successful family life. That's what I always say where I go out. And they say, really? How do you do that? They begin to tell me their problem, and that's how I get new clients, right? So it increases your chances of meeting like-minded individuals. Actively engage in discussion and be open about what you are looking for in terms of connection, be it for personal growth, business, and other endeavors. So as you are talking to some of them, you say, I'm looking to, my cousin said, let's go to the club in Dallas. We went to the club. As we got to the club, a guy was drinking wine in front of me. And when I introduced myself to him, I help families succeed. I said, really? Is that what you do? Who are the people you serve? I told him I serve families, I serve organizations, I serve government agencies, and I serve churches. He said, do you do something on children's field? I said, well, I do. But there's a man I've been trying to meet who I know if I pitch this to, it will open a lot of doors to me. He said, what's the name of the man? I mentioned his name. He said, that guy, we attend the same church. I said, they've told me I can't see him because it's busy. He said, no, come to church on Sunday. At the end of service, walk up to him, but you need 5 minutes to convince him. If you can convince him in 5 minutes, he'll give you an appointment. I went to their church on Sunday. After service, I walked to the man. I said, my name is Praise. This is what I do. I noticed this about your structures and system. I think I can help with this. The man said, I love this. Can you come to my office on Thursday? I want my wife on seat. Went there, did a presentation. Voila, PM. That transaction alone, that club earned me maybe about $68,000 to $72,000, right? Just by moving out of my comfort zone. So actively engage in discussion. Let people know what you are looking for. Yoruba people say, "Entobadake tarayabadake." What does that mean? The person that, how do you say that in Yoruba teacher, Ayo, please, can you help me type that in the chat box? That if you keep quiet about what is kill and what is drowning you, it will keep drowning you, right? So number 3, ask for recommendation. You are not married. Ask for recommendation. Trusted friends, mentors, and colleagues often know well enough to recommend connections that will be good fit for your life. What do you need? Ask people, help me, I need help. People will think that, oh, this person not get shame. Excuse me, shame does not pay your bills. Be shameless. I have a mentee who talks about shameless salesmanship, right? You need to be shameless about what you need. The guy that needed a miracle from Jesus, he ran to him. Jesus, son of David, have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. Okay, right? So ask for recommendation. Trusted friends, mentors, colleagues often know well enough to recommend connection that will be grateful for your life. By leveraging their networks, you can expedite the process of meeting individuals who resonate with your goals and energy. Number 4, evaluate energy and consistency. Evaluate energy and consistency. Thank you. A closed mouth is a closed destiny. When you meet potential connections, pay attention to their energy and how it affects you. Do you feel uplifted? Do you feel motivated and understood? When you leave some people, do you have clarity, new ideas, right? Or when you leave them, you are still confused about how to take your life to the next level. Assess the consistency of their action with their words over time. Consistency is a strong indicator of authenticity and reliability. How do you feel when you're with them? Every time you go to them, do you feel, oh, your confusion is resolved? You have clarity. I had a brain lock last week. I knew who to call. I just called my friend Shubomi. I said, Shubomi, I need to come and have a session with you. And I went to her. We sat down and I explained what I'm trying to do. You know, she just brought her iPad and drew some things. And by the time she brought it in, she had shown me step A to 5 of what I needed to do. It was clear. I knew who to go to. Who do you go to when you are stuck, right? And by the time we're done, she said, Prince, you know what pains me is that when I do this for people, you know, many of them don't implement. I said, believe me, I'm chief implement. But at the end of the week, it was a Tuesday session. By Friday, I've implemented almost 70%, right? So evaluate energy. When people come around you, do you feel heavy when they leave you and you are confused and you don't even know where to start from? You have forgotten what you plan to do. Or they challenge you, they get the best out of you. And please, let me say this. You need humility to retain the right people in your life. Some of you are too proud. You are arrogant. Things are not working, but you are concerned about how they are saying it to you, right? If you have a mentor, your mentor's job is to tell you the way it is. It's not to pander to your ego or your emotion. So you say, you know, he's speaking the truth, but how he said it, he should have said it in a way, excuse me, since they have been saying it the way you like it, have you changed? So you cannot have ego and have been chaos at the same time. Many of us, we have ego. This ego is so loud, then arrogance has entered it. You now say, you know, how can he talk to me that way? He should have said this in the, excuse me, you are not even paying for the session. It's entitlement mentality. We need to stop it. I had the mentor called me out in front of an entire church. Stepped into the church. I'd never even met him. I just wanted him to mentor me. I've been seeing him on TV. I walked in there. There were over 6,000 in that meeting. He called me out. He said, oh, this guy just entered. I've been looking for you. The way you are growing, you will crash if you don't change something. It was as if the land should open up and swallow me. And some of the pastors came to me and said, Praise, go and bullshit him. Go and talk to him anyhow. Go and block him. Then I remember what my mother said to me. My mother will always say, when someone higher than you offends you, there's only one question you need to ask. Do you need him or does he need you? So I silently asked that question. I said, do I need him or does he need me? I realized that I needed him. So what did I do? During plenary session, I went to kneel down beside him and I said, sir, thank you very much for rebuking me publicly. I know you are ahead of me. And there are things, you must have noticed some of these things and I didn't. Maybe they are my blind spot. Can I be mentored by you so that you can help me out? I said, so he said I should come to his house the following day, which was a Monday. No, Tuesday. I went to his house. So he said, what do you want? I told him what I wanted to learn. For 3.5 months, this man did not teach me anything. Day one, he will send me to go and buy a wagon. A wagon is overcooked beans, right? Day two, he asked me to go and buy kerosene. Asked me, I was going on he did not teach me a thing. But I stood in there because of what I needed to learn. Guess what happened? After about 6 months, he called me, he said, Praise, I'm not in Nigeria, not many people know I'm living for my home country, but I have been looking for who to replace me on TV and on different platforms. I have tested you and I've dropped your name. What you say you wanted to learn, here is a book. You will not find this book in any bookshop. Go and read it. You find all the answers there. That was how I found myself on TV. That was how I found myself in many places. But many of you cannot, you would have gone away because let me tell you, you need to drop your ego. You need to drop it. If you need someone, if they trample on you, stay there till you learn it. You know something? A woman came to Jesus and says, heal my daughter. What did Jesus say? It is not proper to give what belongs to children to dogs. If you have done philosophy and logic in school, you will know that if P implies Q, Q implies R, then P must be equal to R. What Jesus said invariably is that you are a dog. How many of you will still stay with a mentor who calls you a dog? But guess the way the woman responded? It's always, I mean, even children, dogs eat the crumbs from the table. That all I need is crumbs. Are you aware that there are people that come into your life that crumbs is what they are giving you, but that crumbs is enough to make you the richest man in your village? Are you aware that some of the people around some of these high net worth individuals, what they are receiving is crumbs? The CEO of Tesla, what he's receiving is crumbs from Elon Musk, but that crumb has made him a billionaire. All the CEOs of Apple, what they are receiving is crumbs. Head of unit, crumbs, but that's still enough. So many of you cannot receive insulting crumbs, but you want very clean diet. Unfortunately, that clean diet is not taking you anywhere. So you need to understand, evaluate energy and consider. Number 5, set boundaries and reevaluate periodically. Even after building connections, it is vital to set clear boundaries to maintain personal cohesion. Periodically evaluate the value and the energy of each relationship. If someone no longer aligns with your path or hinders your growth, it might be time to reconsider the relationship's intensity or nature. And you see, this bothers me when people stay with someone for the rest of their life. You've stayed there for 10 years. What the side is going to teach you has not taught you. You have not learned anything. You have even regressed. And yet you are still there. See, you must understand that there are relationships for a reason, some for a season, and some for a lifetime. Mentors can expire, right? You need to know that. That's why in a mentoring relationship, there's entry and exit. There's nothing called forever living mentor, except where the person has understood the code of engagement, right? Your church can expire. A pastor can expire, right? Because you can actually outgrow the system so that what they are teaching is now like pedestrian thing. You don't now take your destiny and stay there and say, oh, I must be loyal. I must be loyal. No. You can move to another higher level. You will help them better if you move to another. Don't disrespect them, but move to another level. Having said all of this, finally, you need to create what we call a cohesive aura and manage your aura intentionally. I teach aura management. Now, let me tell you a story. There's a lady in America who grew up from a dysfunctional background, abusive father, a poor mother, but she was beautiful, right? But she didn't know because she was poor. And this lady, a mentor took her up, and then she became a sales girl. Then after a while, big men wanted to sleep with her. You know, I mean, some, not big men, mediocres wanted to sleep with her. So she became a call girl, as it were. Then one of his mentors picked him up and said, what you are doing, you can do it for big people. The lady said, I've always wanted to act. So he said, don't worry, I will get you into acting. But I'm going to teach you aura management. So what is aura management that he taught her? He helped her write some affirmation Affirmations like, I'm indispensable. Every meeting I get into, the high class or high net worth men turn their head. All of them want to date me. All of them want to be in a relationship with me. They love me. They give me good deals. They give me da. This guy made this lady read it to herself every day. Now, reading it to yourself is not enough. When you read it to yourself at a level where your mind can read it back to you without you looking at the sheet of paper, aura is formed. But the last level of aura forming is when you now live in anticipation that what your mind is saying will happen. So let's say I have an aura management street that says, I am the greatest. Everywhere I go, the kings look for me. They want to do business with me. If I repeat that and then my mind is repeating to me, I now go out in anticipation that when I get into a room, the kings will look out for me. They will seek me out. Once it gets to that level, every meeting you go to, the kings will seek you out. Now, this lady, every meeting she went for, the small-minded people couldn't. The big people were the ones who were seeing her. And she grew to a level that the president of America saw her and started dating her as a side chick. The person I'm talking about is Marilyn Monroe. If you know her story, you can confirm. This was what happened. Now, aura can be created negatively or positively. Many of you don't have an aura and you don't manage your aura. So you walk into a meeting anyhow. You take your steps anyhow. You wear whatever you want to wear anyhow. You have no expectation. Blessed is he without expectation, because nothing shall be done or nothing shall be confirmed. So what are the steps to creating an effective aura? Number one, mindful meditation and visualization is number one. If you forget anything I've taught in this session, please don't forget this. I have taught people on aura management, on attracting the men of their dreams. And people have testimonies, right? People have tested it and they realize that it works. If you work at the intensity with which I'm teaching you. Now, mindful meditation and visualization, number one, dedicate a few minutes each day to meditate. Focus on your breath, calm your mind, and center yourself as you visualize the greatest good happening to you. So if you close your eyes and picture, what is the greatest good that can happen to you? Maybe you see yourself, buying an estate in African countries and having a yacht. Maybe that's what you can see. You need to internalize it, repeat it till it becomes real to you. Number two thing you need to do, you need to create affirmations. Start each day with affirmation that reinforce your self-worth, capability, and positive outcome you desire. I use incantation. Incantation is consistent repetition that produces magical effects. It's a high intense affirmation. So phrases like, I am deserving of all the good things. I am a magnet for positivity. Goodness flows effortlessly to me. It can help reset your mind. In fact, there are affirmations on YouTube. There's one on wealth. Money comes to me in the simplest way from all possible means, and blah, 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 blah. See, we use this in my office when I was in Nigeria, and my people can bear you witness. Most of the things we put on that affirmation came to pass, right? So you want to create your affirmation like Mary Monroe created. What are you seeking for? What cohesion do you want? You need to create it, right? And it becomes effective when, after repeating it over and over again at the same time, at the same intensity, your mind can now repeat it back to you, and you live in anticipation that it's going to happen. Number three, gratitude practice. Maintain a gratitude journal. I tell people, my clients, when you wake up or before you sleep, write 10 things you are grateful for about that day. 10 things you are grateful for about that day. If you are doing it in the morning, about the previous day, 10 things you are grateful for. One thing will be clear to you. If you have done it for 3 days, then it will be tough to find something you are grateful for. If you get to that level where you become stuck, what you now need to do is begin to do 10 acts of kindness every day to 10 people can pay you back. Act of kindness can be affirming what they are wearing. Oh, I love how you look, right? That's act of kindness. So that every time at night you remember, or the following day you remember 10 acts of kindness that you are grateful for, right? So maintain a gratitude journal, noting that at least 3 things you are thankful for each day. I do 10. This practice not only shifts your focus to positive aspects of your life, it increases your vibration frequency, making you more receptive to good energy. Every time people say to me, Praise, I'm always attracting the wrong people. I'm always attracting the wrong people. I'm always attracting the wrong. All I do for them is to change their energy and to change their vibration, because there is something in you attracting those wrong people, right? And that takes me to number 4, engage in acts of kindness. I've talked about that. Acts of generosity and kindness, no matter how small, can elevate your mood and increase your positive energy, right? It can be helping someone, volunteering, and every time you do those acts of kindness, reflect on them and let your mind internalize it, because as human beings, we stay too long on our mistakes and we move away quickly from our successes. And number 5, surround yourself with positivity and intentionally expect positive outcome. So be selective about the company you keep. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, motivate you, and exude positive energy. Let me ask a question, and it's a private question, and I need you to be very honest. If you are here, you don't have 10 high-impact friends in your life who exude quality energy, positive energy, who bring positive energy to you consistently, can you type I, right? I don't mean people are just around your life and all of them, they are complaining about lack, about things are not working, generator is working. Okay, you don't have 10. Wow. Right, so can you see where the work is going to start from? All of you are typing high. You need at least, let's even start with 5 to 10. Who are your cheerleaders, right? They are people who care about you, who know what you need, and they go all out to make it happen for you, right? Because you can be stuck in chaos if you don't have the right energy, the right relationship around you, right? So you need to change that within the next 1 to 2 weeks, guys, because that is the only way, right? Look for high impact people, right? Go and position around them, sit with them. If they have clubs, join the club, right? If they are going for party, join the party, right? Don't say I'm too busy. You need that positive energy. If they are going for a business pitch, tell them, can I sit in your business pitch? Can I see how you do things? If they are going for a meeting, can I take minutes for you? Can I carry your bag? I mean, you need that positivity around you. Then consume content, books, music, movies that is positive and elevate your spirit. Avoid negative or energy draining influences as much as possible. So start your day with something that pumps up your spirit, something motivational, right? Don't remember demons that want to kill you, village people that want to mess you up. Don't, right? Surround yourself with positive energy, people that you must talk to every day. I have someone here, maybe she disturbs me, let me not say she disturbs, like 5 times every day, a message, a question, hey, this is what I'm doing, picture, you could literally see, and I will respond, sometimes 1 word, sometimes 2 words, sometimes I'm calling, right? You need to surround yourself with positivity, positive energy, right? There's a song, big energy, surround yourself with big energy, right? I play opera. There's a music genre called opera. I play it every time in my house, right? So play jazz, right? Play something inspiring. The Feeling is the Secret is a book you need to start with every day. Finish it on YouTube, 1 hour. Feeling is the Secret. I listened to it for like 3 years thereabout. Science of Getting Rich. I listen to it every day. Sometimes, so you need to do radical things to maintain your peace. Finally, please, the universe is at the mercy of your universe. You are the one creating your outcome, guys. The universe, the whole world is at the mercy of you. It's not the other way around. You are not at the mercy of the world. Your universe at the mercy of your universe. How you see the world, where you go, the people you fraternize. Some of you have been with the same organization forever. Your life has not moved forward. Leave. Do you know that church change can change your network? Right? It's as radical as that. Church change can change your network. Who are you seeing? Because church, for example, is a place that levels everybody, that makes the poor sit beside the billionaire. So why are you the one who is struggling and yet you are the one-eyed king in the lion, also be blind? I know your excuses, or we are taking people to heaven. But you have not even in heaven yet. The universe is at the mercy of your universe, and your personality will determine your personal reality. So it's about you working on yourself. You have all it takes to create your world and choose your outcomes powered by your narrative. So let your Jacob become Israel and shift from chaos to cohesion. I hope this series has been helpful to you. It's not just enough for you to listen to me. You need to go ahead and practice all the steps. I mean, the minimum you can do is to do the step on oral management and try it. If you try it and you are consistent, I bet you in 1 month, your life will have been totally transformed. Good energy, good things will begin to come to you, and you begin to ask yourself, what have I been attracting? You need to know that you are a magnet, and you will attract what your unconscious mind is bringing your way. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you very much for listening. It's available on YouTube. Listen to the entire series and tell your friends to join the series next time. By the way, if you're in North America, we are doing a 5-week parenting series, parenting North American series. And today I'm teaching on moving from parenting to ancestry, right? So 8 p.m., is it 8 p.m., 7 p.m. CST and 8 p.m. EST. Let's meet. Invite your friends. We had 87 people on the call last week. We need to be more this evening. And if you are a paid member of House of Saviours, or if you are a member of House of Saviours, sorry, we have a session later in the day. We're having Jane Oma, and you don't want to miss that session. Thank you very much, Temilola, sorry. Over to you.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you very much, Pierre. That was an awesome session, you would agree. See, the thank yous are going on in the chat room. We appreciate you. Thank you from sharing right from your heart. That was explosive. Have value been added to you here this afternoon? Please, let's keep the fire burning in the chat. Let's really appreciate Pierre. Thank you very much. That was awesome. Pierre, is it okay to take one question? So if anyone has a question, please, could we quickly put it in the chat? Let's just take one question before we go ahead, because I mean, we've run through the whole session. It's been 4 weeks. Does anybody have any question, any burning question that you want to ask, or we fully and totally comprehend? We are fine. Okay, I think we don't have any.